Section 78 was flouted in terms of the 4-month rule. We thought, this is not for the appellate court to determine. This is a Supreme Court determination. We sent the case to Supreme Court. It was never heard. Now, the act that introduces the Commission of Inquiry, we said it contravenes Section 140 of the Constitution. We took the matter to the Supreme Court for a case stated. And Section 78 gave, subsection 2, gave the power to the Supreme Court to interpret the wording of a constitution. In case whether they say shall, that one they say for, like in the case of Lawyer Timbo, for instance. In the appeal against Lawyer Timbo, the SLPP are saying that the judge agreed that yes, you resigned. Judge Lawyer Timbo, Honorable Timbo resigned 1 year before the elections. But they were saying that the election starts from the nomination period when he was nominated as a member of parliament.
Right.
Do you understand? And then the Constitution says 1 year before you seek for elections.
I see.
So that word seek for election, these are the words, the consonants, the legal meaning in law can only be interpreted by the Supreme Court. They will go to a Supreme Court. What does this mean? What are the literal meanings, sir? Let them just say, we think, say, this means, say, it starts from nomination. We go accept her. We have a duty to the court to accept where, the judgment, except where it is made in erroneously. So we got, but they don't even call the case. They don't even call APC case.
Okay. So if you've got somebody out there now from the SLPP government, whether they're based in the UK and want to challenge your views, so to speak, as in to say, you know what, DJ Little or Diaspora Voices, this is very unfair. You've just allowed somebody from a senior member of APC to just come and tell his story or tell their story. This is not a one-side thing. What he's saying is all fake news because the APC government, actually, they were equally as bad. And we have cases where SLPP members across board, senior members of SLPP in politics were deprived of deserving position. Senior members of SLPP were removed from their position to make provision for APC members. And the only reason why Ahmed Sesay is sitting here now and saying this is only because they're in opposition. What would be your response to that?
It is not, I'm not here for the tit for tat response of the argument. I'm not here for he did it last year, so we did it. Because that was not why we elected President Madabio. He said a new direction. If he had said, vote for me, and I'm going to make sure I revenge whatever APC did, I'm going to revenge. It would have been a different.
Well, nobody would ever say that.
President Bio is not the president for SLPP. Yeah. President Bio is the president for SLPP, APC, NGC, independent candidates, every Sierra Leonean. Is the president for every Sierra Leonean. So if you say what APC did, you're going to revenge. What NGC didn't do. How about NGC? Who a relatively new party. Yeah. How about C4C? A relatively new party. So that is why that's tit for tat politics. That is not what I'm here for. I'm still waiting for someone who will say that APC don't have the case against APC for the Commission of Inquiry, the case stated about Section 140 is false. That the case against the APC, the action APC is claiming that they filed, I'm not saying the petition. Forget about the petition, the 32 petition. Someone to say the Sylvia Blyden case is false, it's been empaneled. Someone to come back and tell me that the Section 140 case stated we make to the Supreme Court has been empaneled. If someone comes to me, I didn't say it comes now or call you or after the show say, Ahmed Sesay is misleading you. Yeah. The cases he mentioned, the 3 cases, let me repeat. We filed the initial case was for the Commission of Inquiry to be interpreted whether the act contravenes Section 140. That case was not called upon, it wasn't empaneled. The Section 178 case stated the inquiry we made to the Supreme Court to interpret the 4-month rule. It wasn't empaneled. And then the appeal we made for the 10 members of parliament that were removed from parliament, pursuant to their right of appeal for 14 days, that case has not been empaneled. These 3 cases, if someone, it can be now during the show or later, came up to you and say it's false, I'll give £1,000. I'll give £1,000.
Oh my
Any
goodness.
SLPP come and say these 3 cases have been empaneled, I'll give £1,000, and the offer will last for 48 hours. 48 hours.
For
What time is it?
For 48 hours, we're now at, let's say, 9:45.
Yes. If you come with evidence and say these 3 cases.
And the program is recorded, so just in case, if you want to get hold of the 3 cases which Mr. Sesay just mentioned.
I'll go over them again.
Yeah.
We filed a case against the Commission of Inquiry. The act, we said it contravenes section 140, a relevant section of the Constitution.
Yeah.
We filed that case. It has not been empaneled, or we are not called. It's not been gazetted. We filed a case on section 78 interpretation in terms of the 4-month rule, because the cases went way beyond the 4-month rule. It was not empaneled. Now, don't argue with me on the substance of the matter. I'm talking about Rule 30, the rules of the court. We are on the rules. We're not about the substance of the case. They don't get right, so they get wrong. No. What did the rules say? Here, when you go to the Lambeth County Court, you get an action. You will take the form N98 or whatever form. You pay £63 for bringing a county court action against someone. They will stamp it and give you a receipt, and then they will serve whosoever party. That is the process we're talking about. That process has not been done.
Right.
If these 3 cases, someone come to you say, hey, that man mislead we, then they give him £1,000. This is how serious we are to show the injustice that is being done in the courts presently against our political party.
And why is that not happening?
Well, this is why I kept saying to my fellow Sierra Leoneans, let us take Mother Bio's track record from this. Let us take an Eskroma from this. To me, it has the independence of this judiciary.
So if the judiciary is failed,
we have to tell the judiciary.
You're right.
We have to
you
tell
are
the judiciary.
educated enough. Not you specifically. APC has got highly literate member. Why? What is wrong with not escalating this? Maybe bring it to the known of the president and say, look, hang on a minute, Mr. President, the judiciary and independent body, they're failing to deliver.
He knows. Listen,
so what you're trying to say,
the president, we seek the attention of His Excellency the President.
So that's been done.
We seek his attention, and he said his reply was, "I don't have hands on what is happening in the judiciary."
So is that a disclaimer?
The judiciary should be independent.
So is that a disclaimer?
Yes, the president said the judiciary should be independent. So he's the executive, and he should not lecture us on the doctrine of separation of powers. We said, well, that is fine. Now, next thing we did, we walked out of parliament, which created a lot of attention. A lot of people said
we saw that.
Yes. We walked out of parliament. We're not it is parliamentary process dictates that you cannot misbehave in parliament as a member of parliament. You have the liberty not to witness proceedings if you deem so appropriate. Now, we took a position that let the president, knows that we are aggrieved. The president is the head of government. If we are not happy with the conduct of the judiciary, we think he ought to step in and say, you know what, the judiciary, we don't care if we go inside tomorrow, then to we cases say, then case say, I will don't look at, but you don't get right to now come on at this court. That means we've accessed justice.
Right.
But now we cannot access justice. That is our point. And even a core SLPP friend expressed concern for not granting the opposition access to justice. I'll tell you, elect we further, we go up. The courts, in most cases, will tilt the pendulum of justice towards the government of the day.
Absolutely.
We know that. But at least stand before that darkened bench, wooden bench, before the judge, the bench, and let the judge say your case lack merit.
Okay, listen, we do have a comment that's coming out. I want to Harun Bangura says, she says, I'm honestly confused with regards to who is doing wrong between this party, i.e. APC and SLPP, because both are, I think she's just taking it on another level. She said both are bad as each other. Also, both are playing each other games, but what they fail to realize is that Sierra Leone, let me just try and see the comments that she's, is that Sierra Leone is bigger than both parties put together. And I think you alluded to that anyway when you're talking about what I wanted to say. Look, if you're just joining us, it's getting very interesting in the studio, but I really, I really encourage and I'm happy that you guys are joining us. But I want to move on from just the judiciary because there are so many more. We've literally got just under 35 minutes to go in the studio, and I want to take Mr. Sesay to another level of this conversation. But we don't want to leave here without not calling, and I know a lot of you have been engaging on the forum, but we don't just want you guys to engage on the forum. We want you to call the studio. Believe you me, the phone works. And the number again is 07404 957 930. That's 07404 957. Just in case to prove to you guys that the number work, and I will tell you guys 07404 957 930. That's the number you can call the studio. Ask your question, and by the way, I just want to find out. I just want to knock on the door. Bum, bum, bum. Are there any SLPP members out there? Do you guys completely agree? Are you guys so much in agreement with what Mr. Sesay is saying that there is nothing to challenge, there's nothing to contest? He's put £1,000, not 1,000 leon, so £1,000 sterling for 3 of the cases which he felt the All People's Congress Party, which is the APC party, has got a very firm foundation that their case was deliberately not brought to court, and these are legitimate cases that should at least be heard in his own words. And if anybody can disagree or wants to challenge that, and they can come up with that, that wants to challenge that credibly, and he feels that you have a foundation, you have a substance to your challenge, he will reward you £1,000. That's £1,000 I would want if I was somebody of SLPP party who I would find out, you know, this man a joker, he just can't talk to DJ Little or anything. And you feel that you have something to counter him, why not come? Win yourself £1,000. You got 48 hours to do it. The program is being recorded, and I am very happy for you too. But call the studio. Call the studio, let's find out. What do you call it? Owen Kasu said the party in governance is responsible for the wrongs. I want you to please open your eyes to the blatant violations of our constitution by the SLPP government. Right, so listen, we're going to move on from the constitution. We're going to move on something now, which is, for me, how do I come into this, right? I will come into this. Let me just read what Usman Tholi just said. Usman Tholi says, but according to one of the government spokesman, the APC has not followed the correct procedure in some of these cases. Either the case is abandoned or has failed to follow the correct procedure. Is that 1,000?
Did they talk about the appeal?
Okay.
I said forget about the appeal, the 32 appeals. Forget about the cases about the 32 appeal. You understand? That is a case where if we go deep into that, it's I'm talking about the 10 cases when they remove you as parliament, you go say they go appeal. Not to wait you petition against them.
I see.
They say that will not follow.
Okay.
So
all right.
when the one away we go appeal for them 10 people they wouldn't put, they're not call on it. The one where we appeal for section 140, say the commission of inquiry, not legit, they're not call that case. The section 178 where the 10 numbers 4 months. Where you case go, if they're not calling for 4 months, they're supposed for drop them.
Wow.
They're not drop them, then go to 6, 7 months later and now they call the case here. We go to the Supreme Court, say they don't flout the constitution, then today they don't call them. Then 3 cases there. Now they are the top ones.
£1,000 is waiting for you if you want to find out. Right, listen, we're going to move on. Like I said to you earlier on, I just wanted to touch on, I was just about to introduce this. For me personally, believe it or not, I'm a young 44-year-old man. I'm not there yet. but I'm 44 in December, and I thank God for life. But guess what? 44 years living on planet Earth as a born Salonian, as a patriotic Salonian, as a proud Salonian. You know one thing where I don't hear about? Where I meet me mama and me papa then they talk about, where I meet me grandpa and me granny then they talk about, that bridge, that Lunge bridge, that Lunge bridge from Freetown, from Tagrin to Lunge, or from what's in the color, is it King Tom, the other side, you understand, to Lunge, the bridge. And everybody has got a say on the bridge. Everyone's got a comment. We grew up knowing that here. They say they don't go build the bridge because the one they want to build the bridge say waiting there underwater. Whatever is found within the deep blue sea of SaLone is theirs. So as a result of that, government after government from Papa Shekin Yotem where we know, because that's how young I am. I did not meet Sam Metin Magai or Sarah Bat Magai or all the other Django. What's the other one? The other one that did 1 day, 2 days. You know, all the ones maybe I met from Papa Shekin anyway. But have had all this saying on my head. And then as a proud Salonian, what are the challenges that I face? You know, like I said, going back to SaLone as a young man, and then in the last 5 years being very, very frequent in SaLone on an annual basis, there's still no improvement on our sea transport. We've got 2 ferry legitimately by the government. Only one functions. We have private alternatives crossing, which are the privately owned boats, and these are very expensive. If you're coming from the United States, you're going to be paying $40. If you come up from England, where you come up from, you pay £35. Or you understand that sort of thing. Imagine that amount of money going into somebody else's some privately owned business, corporate Mongo guru, and they're taking all this money out. And then you have the odd options, which you have the reliable Pampa, where they get that cover hose, you know that Pampa, they say that fine hose. Some of them are credible. And then there's also the other option of the helicopter. You know, everything, they all come with the risk. All form of transport, even if the bridge is to come today, we're going to have the challenges. We're going to have the risk. Everybody, every life is prone to accident. That's just part and parcel of nature. So, but why am I saying this to you? Oh, by the way, we do also have the alternative roads problem, but you have to go all the way around to Port Loco just to enter into Freetown. Now, well, we're thankful because the previous government has made road traveling better. But just last week, or just before the start of last week, we saw the government, the president posing and for an agreement or contractual tender which is going out there that we are going to have the bridge, the final, the B word. Na SaLone, yes, bridge, they come. Yes, na SaLone, the government, and then the president is posing out there, right? And it gone out on social media. And what do we do? We have those who are celebrating the bridge. We have those who are criticizing the bridge itself coming. Those who are now looking at it into a political affiliation and saying, well, the bridge not for be built because these people are not trusted to build the bridge. And those who are saying, now we don't build the bridge. And those who are saying the cost of the bridge itself, it's a massive fraud because either they can take a contract of 2.1 billion, so to speak, to build that bridge. And what are the ways, what are the challenges that we're going to pose for building the bridge? Is it going to be another Hastings toll gate? Yes, we may have to. But what I want to know is, I don't have an opinion to this. Why I told you my story, because as I said to you, I'm a 43-year-old man, 44 if Allah permits me to be, and more. And but where I'm sitting, I would love to see in my lifetime to have a bridge, a SaLone bridge, going from the main city onto another city. Because I don't see Lunge as any village or whatever I see it as another city. You understand? So we want to see that bridge because I would love to see, I want to walk that bridge. What are the challenges or how the bridge is going to be delivered? I don't know. I am not an engineer. I am not an expert. I'm not a financier. But I have a platform to say, I would love to see that bridge built before I leave this earth. You understand? Or I want to see my children drive through the Lunge Bridge or run through a charity run or whatever, do a fun walk, do a jog, do a walk, you understand, to see that Sierra Leone eventually, because we are not a country that do not deserve something like that. I believe the bridge poses or will create an opportunity for a great economic prospect. You understand? Because we can now be able to go from Lunge to Freetown easily, and then we can create, Lunge can be developed. Who says Lunge cannot be developed? And then we can thrive as a nation, and we can open doors to international businesses, international markets. Imagine we have a bridge that is very sophisticated, that is very engaged, that is a bridge that's worth, with all the right security measures, with all the right quality that a bridge will own. As they said, is it a 50-year-old bridge? Is it a 120-year-old bridge? People are saying, I don't know. But here, I'm not the expert. Hence the reason why I have Mr. Sesay here, who is coming to not to speak on behalf of SLPP, but for somebody on behalf of APC, but also as an independent person, but also as a Sierra Leonean and a businessman. I want to know your insight before we even tap into the politics of it here. Okay. You are SaLone man. You want tell me say you know one see bridge from Lunge to Freetown or from Freetown to Lunge?
Good question. First of all, let me start by saying this, and I want to let people that listen to me here. I'm very, very, very much disappointed the way and manner we Sierra Leonean lately, how we debate issues of national development.
Yeah.
And the diaspora, some of us have been in diaspora for a very long time. Mm-hmm. We should start by emulating the political trend of this country.
Yeah.
So, and we will learn to tolerate each other in debate without insulting each other. Mm-hmm. This bridge don't bring so much animosity in a pala. They see wife and a man, woman and man, they make plaba, they want to tell themselves bad word for this bridge. Mm-hmm. We are using the wrong term. People are saying they criticize the bridge. Mm-hmm. Like one gentleman from America, he sent an audio today. He said, Sierra Leone, he spoke eloquently, but he said very displeasant things like Sierra Leone people will not left bad heart. Well, if you listen, let me reply you. It is not bad heart. The model of this bridge is called public-private partnership. Who is the public? The public is the government of Sierra Leone. Yeah. The private is the company who has expressed intentions to build the bridge. And then that's a partnership. So if you are part of a party to a contract, which the people of Sierra Leone, you want to tell me say they don't get right for view, express their view? Now, by that?
No.
No.
No, totally not.
Because they are part of this agreement. Yeah. The reason why people are skeptical, and listen, let me make my position clear first of all. My paternal origin district is Otloko. My maternal is Tonkolele, and the rest of Sierra Leone I hold dearly. I personally go celebrate the day when they turn the soil. I go kill cow and make Sarana Lunge, and the other side Napoti, for show me appreciation. Because first of all, this is a private partnership. When a private investor they can build, when me no send call. If you no see say the 2 billion for recover 2 billion, even if you factor and say for 20 years, meaning you need 100 millions per year. That 100 million, if you check the amount of vehicles registered as at the time when Sierra Leone moved to the ECOWAS number plate database, so now we have 257,000 vehicles. 257,000 vehicles, 40% of which they are now scrapped. So if you investor, let we let the investor let them assess whether sometimes God will give you 1 billionaire where he could just say, I am going to build this bridge. If you want go, things not happen, he not go say, una can't help me fold the bridge, like and go back to Sakomot. He go left an SaLone. The burden is not on the state. in terms of for now. But we as a people, we must ask question as to what in there in black and white.
Why didn't your party find this billionaire?
No, we as a party will not have 2 billion and build a bridge. We will instead follow the Senegal model and build an entire new city. And the concept for Mamama is to build a new city. But we don't want to put the burden on one investor alone. So what we did instead, we applied for a concessionary loan which the IMF objected to. And then we were in the verge of transforming it to a BOT system, build, operate, and transfer, which already Exim Bank has approved to the lender, the company who wants to build the airport for 400 million. We lane where they take the road from back of Mamama, take Kantombo, take you can join Kent, you can come on along. You get your own airport express highway, plus the airport. And we as an APC, we not object the Lunge Bridge. It is an SLPP initiative. We will support it as long as it not get burden on the people. As long as when the bridge come, they not get for stop the Pampard or the ferry or the sea coach ferry. Let it build, because
you need alternative source of food. I am one person that sits here, but I've said it very openly. I challenge, if the bridge is to be built, I will challenge any government that will say there should be no other forms of transport.
Well, let me tell you this. When the APC initiative came forward, when we started the toll, and someone said President Bio is introducing a new concept of private public partnership. No, that was misleading. The APC, the toll was a public-private initiative. The energy sector, EDSA, is a public-private initiative. The boats, the Turkish boats where they give you energy now, na private, na PPP. The Bumbuna Falls, na PPP. But we did it prudently. So burden not go there on the consumer. So now when SLPP took over, the average EDSA electricity bill, you find out say slightly go up. And then you notice say, if they can build the toll now, the toll was a $42 million project. The Masheka, the Freetown Masheka toll. The SLPP had everything to say about the toll. It was their statutory right as opposition. We did not condemn it. We did not tell the SLPP they get bad at. They condemned the toll. You should have built subsidiary road, which is true. We agree. We succumb to the argument. They said it's too high. APC, white tanker driver, we agreed. We called every driver in Sierra Leone. We dropped the toll prices. We agreed to them. Now, when they want to build the bridge, the APC people are expressing their concern. They say we get bad at, we don't love SaLone. But when they were opposing the toll, we succumbed to them. We listened to them. They're not the right. They can say anything. We're all Sierra Leoneans.
So why do you think the bridge, the 2 billion, 2.1 billion is not feasible at this time?
No. I'm not saying. Listen. I'm as a practitioner. Yeah. I'm a businessman.
You're a businessman.
No, let me finish.
Businessman.
Let me finish. Okay. I just did a due diligence for a company, a beer company. Yeah. They wanted to open a brewery in Kenya. I did their due diligence. Yeah. Yes. When you ask me to do a due diligence, there's factors that I look for. Yeah. To advise me, investor, that yes, you can go in and invest. And one of these factors will be the public trend. First of all, I'll look at the transport, the potential clientele who is coming, because I don't do the figures. Yeah. Like for Kenya, for instance, we instructed Deloitte and Touch, which is one of the biggest auditing firm, and KPMG is a consortium. They come up with the figures. But let me just show you the trend. One thing you get for understand, the traffic, the bridge they start from Poti. And now you don't come on England, you take them from Poti. Now you get for shoot up now for go to your own. And 75% of travelers live in the Western area. The Lebanese, the government officials, now they're in the Western area. That is uncontroverted. So you get what I'm just saying.
There's not been another easier option.
Let me just finish. Okay. So with all this index, we could be very happy if any investor not oversee that. And I dey pray make dem no see the negative aspect. Not for go pour that 2 billion. I dey pray to God. Even if you ask me as a lawyer for do a due diligence, I might compromise my ethics and lie to you, say, go invest. If that's what it costs to forfeit my license or whatever, for there you go invest and build the bridge. This is how desperate I am to have a bridge. But what I will not condone is, do not send negative figures out there that you're going to charge each and every person $10 per aid inside the motorcar for cross go over, and then you come back, and then you say no go cost the people of Sierra Leone, and then you don't discharge a burden on the people where unnecessarily. Then two, let them be clear about how they're going to secure the money. I've done a lot of financial contracts wherein in this scenario, the government is required, because we no longer do sovereign guarantee. But then go reach a level, they want the parliament for big guarantee. Because most lenders overseas, you understand, want the parliament to give guarantee. So if they renege on the loan, the government might be liable. I'm not saying that is the case. That is why I said, give us more facts so we can make an informed decision. But not even discourage people. They say, would I not support the bridge at this point to get by that? We have the right to ask.
Where is this ballot coming from? Because it's not just an SLPP or SLPP people saying you get ballot.
It's got across. Even average Salonians who are non-partisan, when you give opinion contrary to them, they all they see is a beautiful bridge crossing. We want the bridge. But let us be clear about
I want to be a little bit more constructive in my criticism to say my concerns is one of the things which you've highlighted. The cost is going to cost the average civilian to use the bridge when it comes, because I know whatever is being said at the start will not be what the exact figure will be once the bridge is completed. Secondly, how will the bridge be delivered? Because I was having a conversation the other day with a group of Sardinians who were at one of our resident barber shops, and we're having this conversation. And so I said, I want to see a bridge, not a bridge that is befitting because we want bridge, then they just can't gas we up. I want to see a bridge that has got a future element with a credible longevity, that's i.e. a bridge with a facility where you can have environmentally friendly bridge. We are within a state where SaLone is heavily, densely polluted. We should be thinking big. How effective are we now? So I'm looking at the intricacies, the mechanics.
Thank you very much.
These are what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a bridge. I don't want you to just go meet with man and negotiate, and they can gas you up and say, can you a two-way loan bridge? Because they can do that for us in 4 years. That's fine. But is our bridge going to withhold the shelf life of the 120 years? Can we look at this bridge and say 20 years from now, we're playing catch up, look what bridge own, whilst other people are moving towards. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking.
Let me put Sierra Leoneans to rest on this argument. Yes, please, and hear me out on this. Now, let us go home or abandon this argument for now.
Yeah.
Because the simple fact is, just like waiting my host say, we need a report on the environmental impact assessment.
Simple.
We need the figures on the proposal, yes? We need to see the bid documents, because it is Sierra Leone that will produce the documents. Now, then the schematics, like what you draw so, then don't draw not to so. We see 3 lane go so, 3 lane go so. We see the train middle, yes? Where there are schematics proposal, there's also bound to be an environmental impact assessment report. So that is a river we cut across. Sierra Leone is so beautiful, that is where the ocean meets the river. You understand? That Loge axis. You understand? Now, we don't get problem with that. But the problem now is, let me not make, this is just an invitation for express your interest. So now the participants visited Sierra Leone that day. They took the dossier and the schematics drawing, not even the detailed drawings. No. Now then they go home now and come sit down and look at and start sending engineers for go raise the study in terms of the numbers, then get for surveillance for to carry SaLone, then get for look the traffic, then get for look the population, then get for look the airline passengers traffic flow, then get for look. So then when they done, there's no back say, then Mr. Jensen we go, Mr. XYZ from Nigeria, Miss ABC from China. They now say we've done our due diligence, we've done our feasibilities, we've put this money, and then we don't think it's feasible or we're going to proceed. And that is not all. And then you have to raise the funds. And then you can now, if you, the corporate setting, don't agree, say, I will proceed with this bridge, you now go to the bankers. And then the bankers in turn will go back. That is where the banker will normally instruct the lawyers to do their due diligence and advise them and send their financial. And that stage will be more prudent. And then the banker might say, your project is ambitious, but we don't think we can fund it, or we will fund it, or please phase it. So until we reach there, when we reach to the level wherein we don't get a bid, we don't award the contract, and then the awardee will come to us and say, this is my proposal for the bridge, this is going to be my price, and then we can take the argument from that point. So for now, let us share this argument.
We're very emotional, very sentimental.
But it is a fine concept, and we in the APC, we only need clarity, as you guys did in the toll, Masheka toll. We just need clarity, because we know that we don't want you to discharge an ordinary burden to the consumer and to the people of Port Local, of which I am part of. You understand?
We've been very, very engaged. This has been very, very... Listen, let's just catch up quickly with the topic. Mr. Sesay, let's get the data right. The $10 charge was used as an example. And again, are you sure the bridge will start from 40? And I think you didn't say he was going to start at 40.
Just around 40.
Yes. What do you call it? I think Ibs Bangura says, and the charges are passengers, not the cars. So I think $11 million per month, something. I think when you were talking figures,
that was misleading. Don't even go to the figures. Don't take me to the figures, because that would be discrediting my argument. If you take me to the figures, I'll draw a calculator and then I'll factor what is 220 million in the average loan. I'll use the Ghana model and show you the average loan. A consumer loan, private loan is 6 years. When you want loan credit card, you want motor card, 10 years. A property loan is 25 years.
That's correct.
And then an infrastructural loan is 35 to 40 years. Some might stretch it to 50 years. Now, they have said the lifespan of the bridge is 120 years. Now, if you said 11 million in 10 years, that 11 billion in 20 years, you now therefore put in paper and show me. Now make us say, let us stall this argument. I know they dish you, you know this me back. Just show me the 11 billion. Just show me the 11 billion where the bridge they pull. Say now so with the pull on. But I am just saying for argument's sake, even if the bridge is built, there is no magic where it will get a full traffic flow past the Masheka.
But that's what I wanted.
The Masheka toll road will command more than 1/3 of the traffic, which is natural. A Masheka toll road stand at £1 per one-way journey, 4,000 for small cars, and then heavy-duty lorries with 7.5 tons get their own fees. So please, if it's 11 billion, I respect your data. I don't want to discredit you, but please just show me. Say this is how I prove the 11 billion, and then we will agree and disagree. Let us don't accuse each other and try to pull a fast one on each other. Put them in writing, and then the people of SaLone, because you have the right, I have the right, and everyone else have the right.
I think we've got a comment from what you call it? We've got a comment from what's the name? Sahid says, what are the collateral? Should the return are not met in the specified time? The public needs to be made aware of all in blueprint. These are the questions people should be asking. Sal Said is again, she's former chair lady for JFK movement, and Usman Toli, I think, followed on with some of your comments by saying, what about the revenue on the 6 anchor projects going to the investors? I don't know about the 6 anchor projects. Is this something that you know about? Owan Kasu added, Poti is the shortest connection to Lunge. The $10 example might even be increased, or country don't even have enough vehicles to ply the bridge to recoup the $2.1 billion, even in 100 years. This project, and so on and so on, is a non-starter. Thanks for the education, then, Mr. Sesay. It's been very, very interesting, I'm telling you, but I'm very, very challenged for time now. We have got just under 10 minutes, and for 5 minutes, I just want to talk down. And let's forget politics. Let's talk UK. Let's talk everything. We've been in the UK for so long now, and people like yourself, we've learned a lot from you as a young man, yourself and your camaraderies at the time. You talk about the likes of Cyril Jackson Smith when we were growing up. There was an element of where young people then had respect for those who we met within the industry. And at that time, you were very, very a social man and an entertainment man. When we came in, we showed respect, and then we profiled you guys. And then in time, you were able to put hands across our shoulders and coach us when necessary. We're not seeing that a lot. Obviously, times have changed. Social media has come in. Social media has now created an avenue where Sierra Leoneans at mass, we have a platform where we're saying, this is my saying, I say, you utilize Facebook, you don't use Facebook. So to utilize Facebook is what we're doing. So you go in there, you make a very credible and what do you call it, a good source of Facebook. Not using Facebook. To use Facebook, you're not gaining anything. If you can understand quite clearly as a lawyer, you know what I'm trying to imply. But we've now got a stage where all the members within the community are not reflecting of utilizing Facebook in a positive manner, and we see all sorts of mayhems and misdemeanors. What is your take on it?
Well, you see, I can say there's one thing we need to know as well, and I've seen this. There's been an inappropriate use of the social media to the extent that people are committing offenses without knowing. There is defamatory, there is assault, and you don't need to physically touch someone to commit an assault. You can emotionally punish someone by Facebook, stalking them. That amounts to assault. Yeah. You can defame someone, because as long as you write, defamation is when you intend to belittle someone in the eyes of the public. Yeah. And then that is not enough. You have to write, you publish it. And what better forum than Facebook? So we're not being good examples for our kids. But we want to see, we always see from our perspective. Say, when I have issues these days, today the social media has replaced the religious clerics. Yeah. They've replaced our pastors, they've replaced our pastors and our Muslim imams. They've been relegated to functions like funerals or weddings. That's when they need them.
So they no longer call into the home to come and resolve.
When I have issues, because there is this concept that we in our generation that we hold sacred. We praise in public, we criticize in secrecy. Yeah. If I see something that I'm not happy about, Mr. Sesay, I will call you. In secret, I criticize. But today I've seen friends. They can talk. I've got your number, you got my number. We're in a social group. Something happened, pop, I pop it in the group. And then when I see something that is derogatory for my brother, my friend, before I call or I attempt to stop the circulation and call friends and family, please do not circulate this image. Maybe I'll be the first one to circulate. At first send it to you. Don't see what it is about you. Yeah. You don't sit down. So people are transforming their lives because of Facebook, social media.
I'm very squeezed. What are the legal ramifications for social media, bullying, and the things which you highlighted? What are because you said a lot of people don't understand that they're doing everything they're doing wrong on social media, not knowing the full cost. Especially, I happen to have opened the Facebook terms and conditions, and I saw like sections and subsections, I was absolutely petrified. I printed it. You're talking up to 14 pages.
Well, that means that goes to the contract between you and Facebook. That can only take, it doesn't, it might not have a jurisdiction within you. The worst they can do, they can just delist you because you violated that contract.
Yeah.
That is to make sure that Facebook will not just delete you at their peril. But what is important, coming back to your question, is the United Nations, the UK laws on defamation, the UK law on cyberbullying, the UK laws on assault can be easily be flouted by just an ordinary post. I went to a family one day, I'll not name names. They are in a brawl. And then I kept saying, hey, I they go send you girlfriend in picture. You know Sabi me? And they send me girlfriend picture. And then I said, I called the owner, I said, tell her not to. And they refused. And then they posted those images. And then fortunately, unfortunately, the other party was very, very lucky to link with a legally minded person. And they said, take that to the police station. And that is the beginning of an assault on cyberbullying. An assault case, because she said they just had to. So when you see this, how you feel? I'm not able to sleep yesterday. Me picking self and they go left farm. Me picking them they cry. I'm not able to feed me picking them. I don't know myself again. Boom! You've caused a psychological damage, and that is a recognized, diagnosed medical condition. So you've inflicted a damage on someone else by just posting things that you don't go against the law. So people name everything. I go send on our WhatsApp. You know, Sabimi, I go post all that you do. If you post somebody's nude pictures, and then you, especially knowingly, you publish them, especially when a threat have followed, you've committed an offense. You're commissioning an offense, and it ranges from 6 months imprisonment. And to be honest, most unions here were professionals, some man and us, but most of them are DBS demanded. Once you met up with DBS, you met up with DBS, it show even an ordinary caution. Once you show up on your DBS, you're gone. You're two-step.
Yeah, they're done. Like, listen, we can't go on that, but it's something that I would love to have in the studio because we need to address the issue of social media mismanagement. Is what I would. But it's been great having you in the studio. I am absolutely delighted that you came by. Thank you so much, and I hope that I think I don't know whether they got scared if there was any SLPP.
Well, in my closing, I do not intend to open up a debate with the SLPP.
Yeah.
And in my appeal is, listen, SLPP, they cannot govern without the APC.
True.
We are fighting APC and SLPP. We are fighting on something we both love.
Yeah.
Sierra Leone.
True.
You should be mindful.
Yeah.
And let me use this closing remark to address even my president, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio. It is very important. You have nothing to lose if the country is unified. The lack of justice will lead to chaos and anarchy.
True.
Let every citizen be accorded, at least access to justice. What happens beyond the scene is up to the justice's peril. As the judge, as we say, as the court places, the bench places.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think the president should and must intervene and make sure that the opposition have access to justice. If we do not depart from this and say we have to stick to this, it will not help Sierra Leone. Now you are in the verge of launching one of the most ambitious projects in Africa. And I am sure this project can only be implemented successfully if peace thrives in Sierra Leone. True. In the coming years or months, you will see phases, you will see experts on every facet of construction and infrastructure development in Sierra Leone. You will see a battery of lawyers trying to form an opinion on the climate, investment climate, where you want to pour 2 billion. So it is incumbent on us all to make sure that we support our country's peace and make sure peace prevails. You have nothing to lose. Hey, elect President Bio make so. If 2023 come, the people of Sierra Leone don't want President Bio, he's gonna go out of power.
Yeah.
If they still want you, they'll vote for you. So if you intimidate people of Sierra Leone, this is not the first time you be a leader. You were a leader in the 1995, 96, and now you're back. So intimidating people will not help. So please, at the talk and at the plea to Sierra Leoneans, let us encourage each other in this time of debate and politicking. We were then at Diaspora, now they cost mamikos. But when Wednesday come with the open House of Commons, we do question time. When the opposition, they ask questions. But we know they emulate that. So APC is officially up in the opposition. So we have a statutory mandate to ask questions about how the country is governed. So we are not impeding governance. We're not a stop in the way of President Bio. We're just doing our statutory duty. We are discharging our duty, and I am sure we're doing it responsibly. So I thank you very much for having me, Mr.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for people. That's it. We've had your opportunities, and a lot of you guys have made your comments, and I want to say thank you to everybody that has contributed. We're hoping to get Mr. Ahmed Sesay here again, and I believe our business manager, Mr. Ibrahim Sui Bangura, and his vice with James, they've worked tirelessly, and I think they managed to secure somebody from the SLPP government, where we will all still be here in the same chair, and we'll have some debates going on. Hopefully that time I will be away on that side, and then so when the punches are flying, I won't be there. But it'll be interesting. It's going to be a very civil conversation. So it'll be interesting to have an argument and counter argument, or case and a case in, case out situation. But it's been fascinating, and I have to say you guys have engaged with us.
And the £1,000
and the £1,000 still stands. You've got 48 hours less, and the clock is ticking. I want to say thank you for joining us. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got Queen Naz is back with Team Talks, and she's going to be talking to us all about the amazing program that she's got. So make sure you join Queen Naz tomorrow. And on Wednesday, DJ Ish is back with SaLone Beats. On Thursday, Aisata Sesay has taken 2 weeks off, and so she's going to be back with the health show, and we're going to be talking about men's mental health. And as we all know, men's mental health is a very vital, important. The role of a man to have a very, very stable mental health is essential in our community. And on Friday, the sports show has been out for nearly 2 months. They will return on Friday. On Saturday, we may have Kitchen Talk. And on Sunday, we'll do it again with all our religious program. We're going to leave you now with famous Brighter Future. Make sure you join us tomorrow on the program. Thank you. God bless. Thank you to my wonderful guest, Mr. Ahmed Sesay, senior member of the APC, All People's Congress Party, businessman, politician, and you know it, lawyer, and a gentleman, and a very, very religious, pious man. I must tell you guys, because I know that. See you on SaLone Talk next Monday. Peace.
Famous to all the baby where don't woke me at, where don't make me feel like say I'm not man enough, I no get nothing for offer. To all me party where look down on me, where don't make me feel like say my life no go become something, yeah. And they walked away. All the people who promise for help me, they say come office today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. The story not just the same, but I refuse to give up. I kept on hoping, I kept believing. Now everything don't change. Me brother see me life now, it don't better now. Famous and the name now. You don't go fit say you don't know me now. Anytime I like a flight to Dubai now. Hey, with me baby now. Anything I like that they buy now. Turn up, cause me I let it turn down, I let it run down. I'm looking forward to a brighter future. I'm moving ahead, I never stop for nothing. I'm looking forward to a brighter future.
Looking for a new car, but stuck with credit problems? You can either buy a used car and suffer from high interest rates and unforeseen bills, or drive a brand new car on a fixed budget that includes servicing on a 3-year lease, all while rebuilding your credit. But how's that possible? With Wheels for Sure. We're 5-star rated, regulated by the FCA, and offer new car protection. Company car allowance drivers are automatically accepted. Contact us today for instant approval on 020 3823 1010. Terms and conditions apply. Looking for a new car, but stuck with credit problems?